another one. And today on As Real as Possible, I am currently in a trade on EU. But before I talk about that, I want to jump over to MQL5 where we can see my trading stats. Right now, my equity is down to 84.60. So last week we left off with me being in a trade, and I'll go over the trade history. We left off with me being on this trade in EU, which was a sell, and that trade I ended up moving my stop loss. I'm sorry. So it started off with, or ended off last week with me being in this buy right here on EU. And so I ended up moving my stop once the trade week was about to end, and when the markets opened up this Sunday, price jumped down and ended up closing me out of that trade with a $3.72 profit. Then today I woke up, I was looking at the markets, and I saw a double top formation. I saw this, boom, which is a super easy, why can't I think of the word? This is a super easy pattern, to trade, and it's super repetitive. It happens all the time in the market, and so I saw that when I got on my computer or on my phone this morning, and so I decided to enter a sell. And so I got in, and I ended up entering another sell with the same. I'll show this one because this sell with 20-cent lot is the trade I originally entered first. I got in at 1.3.93, and I let that rock for about an hour, and then I ended up getting into this sell. From there, I let those play out for a little while, and I decided to close this one out to open up another one. Long story short, I ended up entering a bunch of different trades and had to enter and close some at some point, and I'm down $24 on the day. So I'm down about 20% from where I was when this trade week began and this first EU trade from last week closed out. But that's my thing. Every single trade, I trade about 20% of my account for the possibility to win upwards of a couple 100% of my account in a day and make it super easy. So now I'm in this trade on EU. I'm risking, I have a 20-cent lot, and I'm risking $10. So about 8% of my account, or 16% of my account, so a little bit less than 20%, but as you can see, I'm up $3 right now. And really quick, I need to go change my screen settings so that it does not turn off while the screen recording is happening. But anyways, so back to this, back to the trading. So this is pretty much the trade I'm in right now. Oh, I didn't realize this was still on. Okay. So really quick, this is the trade or the buy setup I had from last week that I ended up abandoning, or got stopped out of, but also abandoning. And now this is my current thought process on EU, because I saw the double top and it's pulled back to this area and dropped off. And so I'm gonna get into back testing and see what we can do. See if my back testing ends up lining up with this same trade, idea. Oh, by the way, I will mention that I've started to trade a little bit different, in the sense that right now I'm gonna go for a really short trade, really high leverage, to try and build my account really fast, because of the fact that I said my goal was to hit about 1,200 this month, and I want to be as true to my word and be as real as possible. So if my goal is to hit 1,200 this month, flipping what was about 120 in the account, then I have to get there. So right now I have to up my leverage. I have to take more trades But if I up my leverage, risk more per trade, and I do shorter, smaller trades. So with this 20-cent lot trade that I'm in right now, if I win 20 pips and then I up it to 40 cents, and I win 20 pips and then I up it to 80 cents and win 20 pips, and just repeatedly up it in the way that I'm doing it, and I can win 20 to 40 to 60% of my account on every trade, then really quick I'm going to scale the account up and be able to leverage 500, 5,000, whatever in a few weeks, you know? And so that's pretty much the goal and like my plan for what I got going on right now. And so yeah, actually I'm going to look for the longs for this trade. Oh, by the way, I can close that. And now this looks a little bit better. Wow, this is going super long. Okay, so let's see what we can do and what we can see. I guess I'll jump back. Actually, no, it hasn't gone off of any supply or demand zones yet. And so I don't really have any trade opportunities. Well, I guess now we got one. I can take this zone right here, and I guess that would have been a pretty nice trade. But I don't really like when the market's choppy like this. Maybe I need to widen that out a little bit. But I don't like when the market's choppy because, or trading like this in super small movements. Because getting in when there's volatility and I can get in and out of trades really quickly is more of what I want to do. So like, let's look at this trade, for example, and see how long this takes to get to TP. So say I got in at this point, it would have taken me about 16 hours to win this trade. So 50 pips, risking about 15, 1 to 3, and risking about 20% of my account, saying I have $100 in my account. I would have been able to win 64 on that trade. 16 hours for 64. And let's see if we continue to run with this, how much we could accumulate in a few quick trades if we're just trying to get in, get out, get in, get out, get 20 to maybe 50 pips, or, well, yeah, I'll say 20 to 50 pips, trying to get in and out of trades and scale our account up really fast. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so I see 2 zones, and I'm more than likely going to take the trade off of this lower zone, so I'll put this up first. But taking a trade off the higher zone wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Actually, really quick, I'm going to jump to the 30-minute just to see what we can see on a different time frame. Is this coming up on any zones on any other time frame? Not that I can see. So even though I'm trading on the lower time frames, I want to go to the 4-hour, the 1 hour, the 30, possibly even the daily sometimes, just to see if there's any higher time frame moves that might interrupt what I'm doing on the lower time frame. But now that I don't see anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep trading on the lower time frame, trying to find longs. But if price comes and breaks below this area and comes back and retests, then I'm going to start looking for shorts, because it shows me that the trend on the lower time frame is flipping. And I forgot to say, now that this is bounced off here, now I can feel a little bit of confidence coming to here. Actually, you know what? By the way, in TradingView, there's this thing where you can put up templates. And so like I have a trade that's already made where no matter what the account size is, oh no, this is wrong though. It should be you're risking 20% of your account off a $200 account size. Every single trade is going to be 20 pips, risking 10 pips, or you want to get a profit of 20 pips while risking 10 pips. And so this is what every single trade will look like, even if it's a short. And let's just see how we can do doing that. All right, so we lost that short. So now we want to go find the new zones and find everything that, wait, let's look at this. Okay, now we're sure we lost that trade. But now we just want to look for new zones and new possible opportunities. By the way, we still have this one, and I'm going to use the template as well. But from what I'm already seeing, price already came up, made a higher low, and now it's making a lower low, so I should be looking for shorts anyways. And really quick, you can see now I'm in drawdown on my short on EU, so we're going to keep letting it rock. Once it gets to around $10 in drawdown, then we're going to close out. If it keeps going in profit, we're going to stay in and let it rock, you feel me? But back to back testing, we still have this long going up this way that we're supposed to wait and hold out on. But I also am starting to think that this short is going to be the better opportunity to trade. And so now that's what I have this zone or this supply zone set up for. And I'm going to set this, I'll even set this in here a little bit higher, just in the off chance that price comes up in here before shorting off. But let's see. Whoa. So I actually got knocked out in both directions on this trade, which sucks. With this, it's just a situation of stop hunting, because this is a zone that different entities that trade in the market can see. And so one of the competitors in the market is the big banks, and we're going to cover this on Baby Pips here in a few episodes. But ultimately, like, big banks know about supply and demand zones in different areas that people see and trade often. And so what they'll do is they'll purposely like set sells to push the market right here to knock a bunch of people out of the trade and close them out of the trade so that they don't have enough margin or whatever. And then they'll enter all their buy orders that go exactly with what was supposed to, or what most people thought was going to happen. So for me, I guess I would have needed to adjust to be about here, or even lower, I guess, so that I could win off 10 pips. But if I would have taken this all the way to TP, this would have been a great trade and very quick. 15, 30, 45, an hour, and hour 15 minutes, and I could have went about 7.5% on my account, or 70% on my account. This should be 20%. So if it was 20% of my account, I would have won 140% of my account and been able to take my account from $200 to $503. But because I lost here, I would have went down to 160, and then I lost on this one when it was up here. Let's actually make those adjustments real quick. This would be at 160, and so I'd be down at $128 in my account. So now that's what we're working with at this moment, and so let's keep going. Really quick, I'm going to jump up to, well, that kind of sucks. It showed me what's going to happen, and I know it's going to continue to go long. But I don't know if there's a reversal, or not a reversal, continuation pattern here anywhere. So I'm going to still let this play out and kind of trade it just to see like what happens. Okay. I'm going to trade this as realistically as possible, because what I'm actually seeing at this point is this supply zone here. That tells me I should go for a short. Only problem is higher time frame and all this momentum over here tells me it should go long. But I'm going to trust my instinct on this one and go for this short and see what happens. Also, going to remember, Got to use the template. And right now, since we lost this one, we're down at 128 in our account. So then we're going to change that to 128, and we're going to go 20%, whatever that may be. And so if I win, I'll be at 179 in my account, and if I lose, I'll be at 102 in my account. And so almost hit my stop. Well, it went in a drawdown about 50%, but then I ended up hitting TP, so now I'm at 179 in my account. But I could have let it continue to run, and I possibly, and more than likely, can continue to let it run until the negative 272. So what I would more than likely want to do in this situation is, once it passed here, move my stop loss to this area and make it a stop profit, and then let this continue to run and possibly even see if I can find scale in entries. So what's going to happen is, if it pulls up here, my account will still be 179, but now I'm going to allow this to come up to, or down to here, to make it so that just from this one entry alone, I'm at 296, so basically 300 in my account off the win. So no matter what, I win on this trade, but I give myself the possibility for more money. And what I do now is hop up to a higher time frame real quick, look for another supply zone that I might be able to use. And so I see two. I see this one right here, and then I also see this one right here. And I'm not quite sure which one it is, but I think it's more than likely going to pull up to this higher zone, just because you have this smaller double top formation. And when it has a double top, you want to wait for it to break and then come back and touch the neckline or the very bottom of the double top. And so this supply zone is probably the better one to go for. So in this sense, I'm more likely to expect myself to get stopped out on this entry here and just take my 20% win, or I guess 40% win in this case. Also, don't forget to pull your fibs, because this will show you where your next exit point should be in the case that you go for more than 20, and it'll also show you if your zones line up. So like right here, it shows me that the 618 lines up almost exactly with the neckline of this. So I should probably go with this, but I'm going to trust my zone and see if I can snipe this entry and get a crazy wick out or something like that. By the way, still floating in drawdown on EU, but oh well. Alright, so by the way, got stopped out here, so now my account is at 179. So now if my account's at 179 here, then when I change this back to, or when I show my risk, put it at 20%, now well, I just hit TP in this sense, but now my account is at 250. But again, just like the other situation, once it breaks this point, then I want to move my stop down to the negative, or my TP down to the negative 272, and move my stop to that 20 pip mark. So I'm going to drop this right here on this candle. Boom. So like now this shows my stop profit. And as it shows my stop profit for this entry, I pull this down to my negative 272. Oh, by the way, back in profit on my EU trade. Maybe not actually down in profit, not even. I don't know. I'm gonna keep back testing. But boom, just like that, I ended up getting stopped out of the trade. So now I'm at $250 as my account size. So now we can erase all this, get this out of the way, and just make a note that our account size is 250 profit on either direction. But now we're gonna jump up to different time frames to see what might happen. So on the 1 hour time frame, this zone right here already got hit, and then this zone was created right here, got hit, and now we have this zone. But because of that, and how choppy price is getting, I'm gonna start looking for longs. Oh goodness. I'm pretty sure some bills just got pulled out of my account. As you can see with that notification, my account just dropped below 100, and that's my other bank account. And so, like, y'all can see, I'm down bad. You feel me? So I really got to make something shake with this Forex account, because I don't have a job, no other way of making income. So I got to make the best trades possible and get stuff done. You feel me? But let's see. I don't really see any zones to like trade off of for this particular area. I don't know. And so instead of trying to force a trade, I'm just gonna let this run and see what happens. So it shorted through super quick, and so now I can start to set up my next trade, and I will look at this one. And so let me pull out the template, 20 pips, but my account size is 250. We're gonna risk 20%, not 25. And okay. Oh, I gotta pull out the fib. And so this will be TP number 2. But right now, we're gonna let this rock. So got stopped out. So now my account is down to 200. And we're gonna continue to look for some entries. And maybe even getting back in right now and saying that my exact same entry is a good spot to get in might be the key. But now what we need to do is go to a higher time frame and look at zones to see what other areas we should look at to enter from. And so pretty much all I see and think would be a good area would be something up here. So possibly even taking it just off the 786. And so our account size is now down to 200. And now that I'm thinking about it, this video is going to be pretty long, so at some point here I'm going to jump up to like just trading on the 1 hour, 4 hour, just to get closer to current time, and then jumping back down to lower time frames, because I don't want you guys to have to wait a bunch and just see like an hour-long video or something like that. Wow, so I got stopped out again. Wait. I'm gonna just adjust this just for like purpose sake and like put it at 15 and see if like this was a good trade, or even I can make it 20 and make it a 1-to-1. But okay, so yeah, my stop was just a little bit too tight on this, but this ended up actually being a really good entry. And if we take this all the way down, so let's say we put this as our stop profit, like once it passes this point again, will it go to the -618? Oh, so it did make it all the way, or not -618, 217, but it did make it all the way down here before turning around and reversing back to a long. And just by how it's moving like this, I'm gonna go with the assumption it continues to short. But I forgot what I was gonna say on that, because that actually just surprised me. But I'm gonna let this play out for a second and see what happens, because I think it is gonna go into being a short, which I ended up being right. But yeah, okay, now I'm gonna get into back testing on the 1 hour and 4 hour really quick, just to speed things up and get this process going a little faster, so that you guys don't have a 2-hour video to sift through. Okay, price continued to short lower. Let's see the next zone we can trade at. We got this one. touched off of it. I think it's going to pull back up again. So it touched it, got stopped out. Probably going to long for a second. Okay, my fault. I keep realizing that I'm talking in a super monotone voice, and that's probably getting annoying, so let me just fix that for y'all, because nobody likes listening to Buford, you know what I mean? Or one of the teachers from Charlie Brown. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to figure out my account size. Lost this 128, 250, 200. Okay, so wait. I'm so confused. Okay, so if my account size right here was 100, jumped up to 164. Oh, I guess I started from 200, but 200 down to 160, 160 to 128, and this would be the next one in line. So if this was the next one in line, I'd have changed this to 128. Boom. My account, I lost, so I went down to 102. If I'm at 102, and I lost. 20%, and I lost. I beat down to 81. Here, I'm at 81. I risked 20%. I beat down at 64, and if I'm at 64. Alright, now I'm up to 86. Okay, so really quick, just seeing this on the 4 hour, this is where I should have been entering the short at. Yeah, right at that point. If I go with the template and I'm at $84 in my account, risking 20%. I should have won here, but since I didn't get in there, I'm going to start to look for this zone right here and allowing it to pull back up. Oh, let me turn off the heater real quick. Alright, I'm back. So, what I'm looking to do is trade off of this zone right here and letting it bounce off, come back for the short, get in, get out, 20 pips, and let's see what happens. Alright, I lost, so now I am down to what? I guess I should have continued with the long, but I guess I didn't see any supply zone. Okay, so now I'm down to $67 in my account. Let's see what happens. I'm actually so surprised because this still looks like, oh, on the 1 hour, this is a more precise version of the zone. And just thinking about what I was talking about earlier, it might break up to around here, just so it fakes out and then knocks me out of the trade. Okay, I'm gonna let this trade move a little bit to see what's gonna happen. And so price actually didn't continue in long much further. It came and shorted off this, and it's still in the same zone. So what I want to do is just continue looking the exact same way, except that my stop got hit. By the way, I'm at $10 of drawdown on the EU trade, and I'll go and move to the 1 minute time frame just so you can see what it looks like. But at this point, there's really no indication on any time frame besides maybe a higher time frame that price is going to short. So since I am scalping, I should be looking for a good exit strategy. Actually, looking at the 5 minutes, looks like it still is going to short, and I just got in the middle of this consolidation rather than at the top. But for purposes of saving my account and making sure that I'm trading based off of my leverage amounts, I said about $10. I'm getting out at 12. So now I'm down $38, $39 on the day. So 40% from what I started the day at. I'm going to continue to back test and let this play out and see what happens. By the way, I'm ending the screen recording. But I'm going to back test, get back to current price, and then try and find another setup and just let it move. And I'm going to let you guys see what happens. I really want this to be as free and open and relaxed as possible. And I don't want to trade with any fear, no matter how much I lose. Like at the end of the day, this is my form of income, and this is what I got to get done. So I'm going to get it done in any way possible. And I have my entry, so really quick I'm going to jump up to the 30 minute to let you guys see what it looks like. So pretty much I have the same idea. It's a short. I just have more confidence in it now because of the fact that I actually took the time to back test. So really quick, I need to get my entry on this, which I'm going to be a little bit behind because it's starting to move. But if we look at my phone, right now I'm going to go for a short, and I'm just going to execute it. I used a 20. I should have changed my leverage, and I didn't do so by accident, but I guess on this trade I'm going to go again risking 20 pips or $20 in 20 pips. So my account size is $66.40. And I'm going to have a lot size of a 0.20, and I'm going to be risking in dollars $20, which ultimately should still come out to about 10 pips. But so I'm going to be risking 30% of my account on this trade, and it should look something like this, and I have to adjust it based off my trade. So my entry is 1.10415, and so now if I set up this based off my template, my stop loss is 1.10515, and my TP, if I'm going for only 20 pips, will be 1.0215. But what I want to do is I'm going to pull this out to the negative 217 or negative 272 right there, and it already has it marked out. So 0.99780, and that'll be the take profit I have put in. Once it gets to about 20 pips, I will come and monitor and see what I should do, and I'll get ready to move my stop into that area. But now, this has been an extremely long video. I don't want it to take any more time. I'm going to start cutting and editing this out, and I'll get back to you guys later today with the video and the follow-up. So it's been your boy, NOA Banks, back with another one. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the content.